What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Grant's Lawn Care. This is Simon. Hope everybody's feeling and doing pretty good as we are wrapping up the month of April and rolling on over into May. And with May comes more heat and humidity. So guys, get mentally, physically, and emotionally prepared because this is when the season's finna ramp up. And the season guys already know, but if you're walking into this field brand new and about to get your feet wet, get ready for the heat. Make sure you have what you need to get you throughout the day and rock on. But without further ado, just want to address a few things. Lately I've been doing some topics and just getting some feedback from everyone, so let's get this video started. The first thing I want to talk about is the clients that we choose. In my experience for the last 3 years, I ran into, I don't see my clients. I do the job, I get paid, I don't see them. I occasionally see my clients. We have a few conversations, I get paid, I leave, keep going. I've had clients where, they'll come outside, they'll talk to me for about 15, 20 minutes, sometimes even longer. And, that'll kind of slow me down with my day, but, whatever. And without prolonging that list, we all have had a client that is always watching. They will make it their business to walk around the yard while you're on the mower, while you're on the trimmer, while you're on the blower. And it's kind of an uneasy feeling at times when you have those type of clients. It's almost like, what are you looking for? Or is this like some type of enjoyment or for your pleasure just to watch somebody, mowing the lawn? Or, how do you guys feel about, the clients that just are always watching you? As soon as you roll up in the yard, they hear you out there, they're out there, they'll talk to you, and then all of a sudden you cut in the front yard, they're right there watching you. You go to the backyard, they're right there watching you. Everything you do. How do you guys feel about that? Me, it's kind of I don't really care for it to an extent, but I also look at it as if, yes, I am on your property. So, it is one of those things where, it's your personal preference on how you feel. I don't think anyone's going to walk in, and say to one of their clients, hey, can you not watch me or follow me around your yard? Because that'll be the last time you ever probably even, deploy your equipment on that yard. So what do you guys feel about, the clients that are always watching? What about the clients that are never pleased? I ran into not a whole lot of those. I can honestly say everyone is always satisfied and very pleased by what's done by me. I've had, one in particular that really stands out. It was a very particular person that is very meticulous about what's done in their yard, how it's done, when it's done, and that person also falls under the always watching category. We came to an agreement, when I first got involved with this client. I did it for the first 2 years. It was always, it's a 20-minute yard, but it's always, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you help me with this? Can you do that? And I'm like, well, out of the goodness of my heart, I did it. And the more I've grown in this business and looked at other people's channels and heard, their advice when it comes to, okay, whatever's not in the initial services is an additional charge because it's an additional service, because that's prolonging your time on that property. So after dealing with this property for 2 seasons, there was kind of a falling out over a comment that was made, over a cleanup job that I did. And I was instructed on exactly how to do the cleanup job. And like I said, this person is one that is always watching and following around the yard. So day one, the job began, did everything they wanted, moved the leaves, got them bagged, raked, and blowed. sat out on the curb. Oh, I really appreciate it. That looks good. Just do the same exact thing to the whole thing, and that's good. I did that. Well, I was under the weather when I was doing this project, and this particular client ended up being in the hospital. So I ended up, I tried to reach out, leave notes, because that was, right along my route. And I was like, well, I'll just leave a note and see if they call. So I left a note, left my phone number a couple times, went by a couple times, no one home. So I finally got reached out to by a family member, and I was paid for a service that I had done already. And that's when I found out the person was under the weather. So I ended up getting that payment, and fast forward, reconnected with the client after they were released from the hospital, back to their normal selves. One that's always doing something out in their yard on their own anyway. Like I say, very particular. I got done with the second day of, getting this cleanup done. And the client was home. However, this time didn't come out in the yard. I just saw them look from the window as I was working. So I was already not feeling well. So I'm going to be honest with you. I ended up wrapping up a little bit quick on that day. And I went ahead and left because I'll just come back and get everything on that final day, because I just really didn't feel like talking to anyone. I just wanted to, while I was pushing myself, get the job done. Well, I get a phone call. I don't like what you did to my yard. And I'm like, excuse me, what do you mean? I did everything that you instructed me to do. Well, the bottom line was, it wasn't what I did to the yard, because that was fine. It was, I was thinking you was going to take me to town so I can go out and do some shopping, etc. And I'm like, whoa. I provide lawn care. I cut grass. I do clean up. I haul off junk occasionally if somebody, requests that service. I'm not a taxi to go to 3 or 4 different stores while you go out and do your shopping for the week. That's not what I provide. So, like I said, over time there were red flags. Every time I went there, it was always something extra. Do this, do that. Prolonging the, like I said, 20-minute cut, and I'm done and out of there. Prolonging my stay there. And I realized I never upcharged. I was just doing it from, the goodness of my heart. Well, the more I grow, I realize, hey, I'm going to have to charge a little bit more, because the time that I'm supposed to be on the road after leaving your property, you're holding me up from going to my next property. So after what was said about I thought you were going to take me to town, that was really the main red flag that kind of made me draw a line in the sand. I used to do this property happily. It was a once-a-month property, very small, easy. But this particular person is so meticulous about the way their yard looks compared to the neighbors, and has a very, very old school mentality. I just felt like I was no longer enjoying going to this property anymore, because now you've already told me, no one comes around. Your family lives in town. They don't come around. And, you said a few certain things towards me already, but, I respect, my older people. I really respect them. So at this point, I was like, well, I'm not going to allow myself to keep going here, because now it's like I'm turning in from more of a lawn care provider to, now you want me to stop what I'm doing and take you to stores, and that's not something I do. I'm not putting that liability on me. I'm not doing that, So long story short, I dropped this client. I wish them, well with whoever else, steps up and goes there, because they're going to have their hands full, believe it or not. They really are. But I did it for 2 years, and a lot of services and a lot of odds and ends. And when you feel like, you're just never satisfying somebody, it's time to cut ties. the next thing to talk about is I learned over these last few years is the people that will call you, hey, I want your services because I'm not able to do it. You go out, you cut, you do what you have to do. The next minute they call you and say, well, I'm going to take back over and, continue to do my own lawn. 2 weeks later, get a phone call. Hey, I just want to retract what I said. Can you come back out and do it? Well, I was in the beginning stages of my business. So, of course, I was like, yeah, because of what I was charging this person, I needed that income. Well, what made me draw the line in the sand with that was I got another phone call. Hey, I'm going to take it back over again myself. I got it, yada, yada, yada. So this particular person already had something else that they were working on in their yard. And they were like, well, could you give me a price for, if you come back and do this for me and do that for me, I can't haul off a lot of heavy stuff and this, that, and the third. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Once you get everything cut down that you need hauled off, give me a phone call. It has been almost a year. No phone call. Let me tell you guys something that I'm not telling you to do it, but I'm just throwing this out there. When you run across those people that are, you need you, they don't need you, they need you, they don't need you, I'll call you when I need you, run away, because you're going to get yourself in a position of feeling guilty when you're like, man, I can't do this anymore, because you have to have yourself set up on a schedule, and here they come out of the blue, hey, I need you today, when you don't even have them on that route anymore, because you tell me you don't need me, and then now all of a sudden you need me out of the blue. Run away from those if you can. I'm not telling you to avoid money, but I'm trying to help you understand to avoid that headache, because I'm telling you, once you get yourself committed to trying to go to these people that only need you 5 or 10 times out of the whole year, it's going to start getting to a point to where you're just burnt out. We're out here like everyone else to make a profit and make a steady income, and to feel like you only want to call me when it's something way too much for you to handle is kind of like stepping on my foot and saying I didn't do it. When I'm looking at you, you're hurting my business by doing that, because now I have to go and get stuff in order just so I can load it on my truck, carry it off. It's going to be more than one load because I don't have a super huge trailer or truck. And when I tell you the price, you're going to give me that look like, really? And I'm going to be like, absolutely. I went out of my way to come help you out of my normal schedule, so absolutely I'm charging you this. So that phone number, I have it recognized, and it will not be answered. Maybe they've already moved on. Like I said, it's been a while since I even got a call from them. But I'm telling you guys, be mindful of those. I'll call you when I need you. I don't need you. I need you, because it's going to put you in a whirlwind, and it's just going to put you in a position to where if you're brand new, you're going to feel obligated to jump to those people. And it's not fair to you and your business to do that. I hope that really makes sense. The last thing I want to talk about is when you go out and you're doing these services, make sure your business is getting the respect, not only from yourself in general, by just when you go out here, you're giving 100%, but when you go out and you deal with clients, falls back to clients that's just, they're a client that you always service, but all of a sudden, something just goes south. They feel some type of way about this, and they start questioning you about, the prices, and, they don't want to be like, well, I don't want to let you go, but, can you respect what you've already set your boundaries to. Granted, yes, you want to help people, but sometimes when you let people push you and you don't fall the first time, the second time they're going to probably get you, because manipulation is very real. People will easily, if you're not strong-minded, people will easily manipulate you into backpedaling out of something that you already set a strong value and a strong meaning behind, because that's just how things seem to be now. You know, manipulation and bribery can always offset what you've already put into place, because the mind is, I don't want to lose out. But in reality, once they see they can push you once and you fall over, they're going to try it again. They're absolutely going to try it again. So demand that respect of, what you've already put in place for your business. Being flexible is awesome, but also sometimes you have to, demand that respect. Hey, this is what I have to charge, because, this is the standards that my business offer. This is what I offer, especially if you're solo, and this is how I have to charge. And if I don't work out for you, hey, if you would like, I could, recommend you to another lawn care provider. See whether they'll be able to satisfy, what you're asking, what you're needing. Or, I'll just cut my ties and say, hey, maybe you'll find someone else. I don't have to even recommend anyone, because I don't want to recommend a headache off of me to someone else. That's just not fair. But I hope this video makes sense, guys. I hope you get, just something small out of it. Just be mindful when you go out here. I'm talking to mostly the people that are brand new trying to get in there. I have a lot of videos with a lot of tips and tricks. They're not set in stone. It's just stuff that has helped me going on year 3. And I believe that, some of it will greatly help you, and some of it, it may not be for you at all. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hopefully this video makes sense. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too long. This is Simon from Grant's Lawn Care, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be safe and enjoy your May.